Hey guys, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today I'm going to bring you a update on my Nepenthes Ventrata pitcher plant. I've had it since July sometime. It's probably a little over 3 months now that I've had this plant, and I just kind of wanted to give you my update. So I've actually changed things up a little bit. This was growing up in my windowsill, and it was doing really super well, but since then it's gotten kind of cold. It's turned to wintertime here. Well, it's like late fall, but we've already had some snow, so it feels like wintertime. But it got cold in the windowsill, so I didn't really like the idea of it. It was getting, I don't know, probably upper 50s at nighttime right next to the windowsill. So I wanted to move this into my new grow room where I have lights. So I've had a Sansi 36 watt bulb on this guy for probably the last month now. Or probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if it's been a full month yet, and it's just still been doing really well. So I've had some new growth, and it's doing pretty good. But before we jump more into this plant, guys, real quick, if you subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. I'm really working hard to try to start my own carnivorous plant nursery, and these videos are a way for me to do that, and you liking my videos or subscribing to my channel is a way for you to sort of support that dream. So anything you do there is really helpful, and I really appreciate it. But real quick, before we dig more into this plant, let's go ahead and look at what my plant has looked like leading up to this point, because I have a few other videos with updates. So real quick, let me cut into that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the plant a little bit here, and then I'm actually going to take you into the area that it's growing now. I come in here because the lighting's a little bit better. The light from the 36 watts a little harsh for videoing. It's a little bit warmer in here, the lighting, so I wanted to video it in here next to this window. But I'll go in there here in just a minute and show you guys what the conditions it has right now, with the humidity that it's getting, and kind of what I'm doing to care for it. It's still in the same soil, so it's still in a perlite, silica sand and peat moss mix. It's the same. I haven't repotted or anything, so it's still in the same pot, same soil mix. But you can see it's definitely really growing well. I have another new pitcher here. I don't think this one was grown last time you guys saw the update. So I've got this brand new pitcher, which is about the same size as that one, and then I have another one right here that's completely formed, but it just hasn't quite opened yet. So you can see it's a really nice pitcher there. That'll open soon, and we'll get some fluid in there and some distilled water, and then make sure it starts capturing bugs. I'll show you when I get into the other room, because the light's a little bit better for this, but I'm definitely getting a lot of gnats and flies in the bottom of these, and I'll try to give you guys a little video of that, what it looks like down in there. It's not going to pick up in here, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that when I go into the other room with the bigger light. Still misting it twice a day, once in the morning, and then once in the evening before I go to bed. I'm putting light on this for probably about, I'd say 10 hours. I do it at nighttime because I don't like the lights on. It's actually my office and I'm working during the day, so I don't do it during the daytime. I know a lot of people like to try to replicate sort of the day-night cycle, but I do it a little opposite just for my own personal convenience. So right now it's on during the nighttime for probably about 10 hours. I just turn it off in the morning when I get up to go to work. But you can see there's, on top of that new pitcher, there's this one right here. It looks like it's probably going to grow a pitcher here pretty soon. This guy just sprouted out of the top. I don't know if that's going to focus for you, but you can see I finally have a sprout that's coming back this way. You can see nothing's really grown this way because this dead leaf has kind of been in the way the whole time. But finally I got some growth coming this way, which I'm a little excited about to help balance the plant out. When you turn to the side, you can see it's pretty leaning one way. Not a lot of growth going out that way, so that new one going out that way is going to be pretty cool. But you can see there's another one here, another pitcher that's looking pretty healthy and is probably going to grow another pitcher. So I got a ton of new growth on this. It's doing really well. It's definitely thriving. And I've been really interested to see how this one does because most people grow these in long fibrous sphagnum. And this one is in that peat moss and perlite and silica sand mix. So I just kind of wanted to see how the plant would do with that mix instead of going for the traditional long fibrous sphagnum moss. That's one reason. The other reason was I had some of this laying around, so I decided to give it a shot since I know that these Nepenthes Ventrata plants are super hardy and they can actually survive in a lot of different soil medias. So I decided to go ahead and just give it a shot. You can see I'm finally starting to get some of my old growth to die here. I think they're just getting old and kind of dying off. I have that one, and then this one that's kind of behind the new one here. You can see it's getting a little old. They still are okay. They still have a lot of green on them, so I won't cut them off yet. Actually, I haven't had to cut off any pictures yet of this one. Nothing has actually died. So these are the first ones that are going to be the ones to go. Some of those little baby ones that were on there when I first got it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's take this into the grow room and I'll show you the conditions that it's in. I do have a humidifier next to it to help get the humidity up a little bit. Even with the humidifier, it's rarely above 45, 50, just because we live in a very non-humid area. But let's go ahead and jump into that room and check it out and see what the conditions look like. Okay, I've moved over to the grow area so you can take a look. Actually, I'm going to turn on my Biopar real quick just to see if that gives me a little extra light down here. Oh, it does, gives me a little bit more, okay. So yeah, so here, I'm gonna come at this angle here so you can see at least the area that I'm looking at better. So yeah, so this is where I've been growing it. This is about the distance that the plant has been from that Sansi bulb right there. That's 36 watt Sansi bulb. Looks like it's probably about 8 to 10 inches, maybe a foot away from the bulb. It's been sharing the light with my other Nepenthes down here that I got from Predatory Plants. I'll give you guys an update on these guys here soon. You can see they're doing good too. They got some new pictures and they're starting to really take off. So that'll be a separate update though. We'll talk about those more in a different video. But yeah, so here's the condition. So there's the light. You can see I got some of my other plants outside right now just because the sun is shining. But here's some of my Venus Flytraps. This Vipar Spectra light has really reddened these guys up. These used to be 100% green. They got a lot of red to them. So I've got my sundews over there, but this is kind of the grow area that I have right now. So here's my humidifier. I have the humidifier shooting humidity into this row here, and that's where I have my Nepenthes just because they're more humidity driven plants. Sometimes I bring my sundews down here too because sometimes they like a little extra humidity. But yeah, so there's that. Let's see, I kind of wanted to see if I brought this closer here, if I can get us a good view of what, I'm gonna have to switch the camera to my other hand. Let's see if we can get a look into the bottom here. I don't know if it's gonna work. I might have to pull this guy back just a little bit and see. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if that's gonna pick up or not, but you can see there's some kind of muck down there. There's gnats and there's actually a full-size fly down there and then some gnats. Let's see if I can get this one to show up a little bit too. This one's gonna be tricky because this hood is a little. Oh yeah, you can see. I think it's picking up on the gnats down there. This one's newer, so it doesn't have nearly as many. But let's see if you can see in the bottom there. You can see the liquid sloshing around. I don't have to fill these up anymore. They just kind of naturally fill. Sometimes when they're brand new, I will, but I don't know if that's picking up down in there. You can see a little bit of the bug goop down in there, but it kind of turns into a bug goop after a while. But yeah, so there's my Nepenthes Ventrata guys. This is the one that I got from Lowes. I think it was like mid-July sometime, and like you saw from earlier, it's definitely done a lot of growing. I can see my pitchers are just about touching the floor now, so I'm probably gonna have to change this to a hanging planter soon. I really like the way it looks in this little planter though, so I'm kind of bummed that I'm gonna have to move it at some point, but you can just see that it's not going to be too much longer before it overgrows this little planter. So yeah, so thanks a lot guys again. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates on this, and get some updates on my other Nepenthes plants that I'll be talking about soon. These are a little more exotic, a little more rare than the Nepenthes Ventrata, so I'll be talking about those. Plus I'm giving updates on my Flytraps and my sundews. I have a Sarracenia that I've been working with. It's not doing as well as I'd hoped, but it is what it is, right? So but yeah, so thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell your friends, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.